and welcome back to a new reading vlog on my channel. I'm so excited you're here. I dyed my hair. As you can see, it is now sort of like strawberry blonde. It looks very orange on camera. It's actually more like blonde with like a ginger tinge, I would say. I love it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. But of course, this is all not book related, so let's get back to the book talk. Hi everybody, before we get into the rest of the content, today's video is being kindly sponsored by Maverick, which is Mad Cave's young adult imprint. So thank you so much to Maverick for sponsoring my content and making it possible for me to keep creating videos on here for you guys. So today I want to talk a little bit about one of their recent releases, which is Good Game, Well Played by Rachel Smith, Catherine Lobo and Justin Birch. This read is set in the 90s and follows a group of friends who work in a video game store. The landlord is getting quite greedy and all the friends have to work together to try to keep the shop from having to close down. This is a story about friendship, a coming of age, found family, being scared of things that are changing. The art looks absolutely stunning. I love the colors. It's all very purple and beautiful warm hues, and I also adore the 90s setting, very reminiscent of my childhood. So if you are interested in checking out this graphic novel or any of their other ones, definitely do so. You can use my code LEO10 to get 10% off. And another fun thing is that one lucky winner can actually win a copy of Good Game, Well Played, which would of course be wonderful. This is open to US participants only, but if you live somewhere else and you would love to receive a copy digitally, maybe definitely still participate in the giveaway. How you can participate in the giveaway is to subscribe to the Maverick YouTube channel, subscribe to me, and then leave a comment down below letting us know why you would love to win a copy of Good Game, Well Played, and we will get back to you. So thanks again to Maverick for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out their amazing imprint and wonderful graphic novels, and let's now get back to the rest of the reading vlog. I am currently reading Everything You Ever Wanted by Louisa Salma. This is so cool. It is definitely not like my usual type of read because it's a bit depressing and like a bit sad, but it is also very funny. So how I would describe this is as if Hank Green's books had a baby with Dolly Alderton's books. It's a wild statement, I know, but let me just hear me out. This is about Iris, and Iris is sick of her life. She's definitely depressed, and definitely a trigger warning for suicide as well because she's struggling with suicidal ideas, and she's just really tired of the world. She's tired of waking up, going to work, having strategy meetings and like not knowing what they're even talking about. She feels like her life amounts to sort of nothing, like it doesn't mean anything, and she's struggling with that. She's not super close with her family either. She has like one friend that she really loves, but other than that there's not a whole lot keeping her on this planet. Even though she does love her mother and her sister, it's just not like a close, deep connection. But then this is where the sci-fi bit comes in, because I said Hank Green, right? The sci-fi bit of this book is that there's a planet that you can visit through a wormhole that is like deep down the ocean, and then you go to this new planet but you can't go back. It's like a one-way wormhole. That is such a fun word, one-way wormhole. Anyway, so you get to the new planet and they're starting a new society there, and you can sort of do like a sort of audition for this new society. So Iris decides to do that because she's sick of her life here, and so you read bits of her life on Nyx, which is the other planet, and you read bits of her life on Earth and like how useless she feels it is. But it's very funny, it's a dark humor, but it's really interesting. There's a lot of interesting societal criticisms in this book so far. And just the humor is what's keeping me going, because it's definitely a bit depressing to read. And I definitely think that life on Nyx and the planet Nyx, I think things are not what they seem. There has to be something going on there. I just feel like there is something not right, obviously. But I'm on page 91, and so far I haven't read a whole lot of her perspective like on the planet, because most of the story so far has just been set on Earth. But I know she's gonna end up on Nyx, and the first chapters when she is on Nyx, she's actually happy, so. But yeah, I feel like it's going to go dark when she gets to that planet, so really interesting. And what is also really silly is that like on Nyx everything is like clean and beautiful and like slow living, you know, but it's all very like they're living in a sort of space pod because like the outside is not ready yet for human life. I just keep thinking to myself, you can never go to cute bookstores again. You can never see like lovely cobblestones on the street, you know. And it's like, I know these people are also missing their friends and family because they can never go back, but there's me just worrying about never being able to visit like dusty bookstores. Priorities, guys. Enjoying this read. Then I'm still listening to the audiobook of Craigslist Confessional. This is a book full of like Craigslist confessions. So the author compiled a bunch of stories of people confessing their like horrible things that happened to them, but sometimes also beautiful things. This book is also very sad. So to handle all these sad books, I also started reading Keeper of the Lost Cities yesterday, which is a middle grade about a girl that turns out to be an elf and is whisked away to Elfland basically, and then I think she's gonna learn to deal with her magical powers. She can read minds. It's very interesting, very funny so far. A good middle grade. I was really in the mood for a middle grade next to all of these books, so I'm happy I started that one. That is my reading update, and now I'm gonna get back to work for the rest of the day, and I'll keep you guys updated when I've read anything. Hi everybody, good morning. So I read a little bit last night. During the day I was quite busy, so I didn't read a lot, but last night I read a little bit more in Everything You Ever Wanted by Louisa Salma. I feel like a certain direction coming on that I think this book is going to go in, and it's making me really sad. It's just the things happening in this book are quite sad, and it is definitely a bit more on the depressing side of stories, just because the main character is dealing with depression so much. I do feel for her. I want her to feel better. So it's weird because I know that very early on in the story that she does get to this planet. This is known before you start the story, and you know that she will feel good there. But like with everything happening on Earth, it feels as if she's like running away, and it like makes no sense she'll feel good there. So I think some things will have to happen. Like some things will have to be like the catalyst. Something interesting about this book is that the main character has had relationships with women and men, but still defines herself as straight, and at some point even says to the woman, "I'm not really gay though." And of course you can define yourself the way you want. You don't need a label. I myself am not sure of my label. Haven't been for a while, and it's difficult to figure out your sexuality, but this was just something that jumped out to me as like a little bit odd. But I mean, good for her, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, since this was dragging me down a little bit, even though it's still an intriguing story, I decided to read on in Keeper of the Lost Cities, because that is just a lot more wholesome and happy. And it definitely is, because our main character is getting more into like the elf world and learning more about elves and like why they get pointed ears or not. And she's also doing admission for a magical elf school at this point. I think that's not really a spoiler because this is all very beginning of the story, like, and it's also quite a long book. I think it's over 400 pages. So, but it's really lovely and great so far, and I'm having a great time reading it. So that's a great pick-me-up after this one. I haven't listened to my audiobook either because that one is also sad. So a lot of sad books. Yes, so today I woke up with a bit of a tummy ache, unfortunately, and I have to go to the dentist today, so it's not the best of days. So I was planning to film some videos before going to the dentist, so I hope we can still do that. Hi, I changed outfits because I thought it wouldn't be handy to be in a dress at the dentist. I'm back from the dentist. I have made myself some lunch and I am reading Keeper of the Lost Cities. It is getting better and better. I'm enjoying it so much that we're getting to see more of the elf world. I don't think I've ever read a middle grade that focused on elves and like a magical elf world. Well, I have read middle grades about elves actually, but not like this. What is annoying me though is that this is the type of phase in the book where you just have more questions than answers. And I know that is also what is keeping me going, what is like keeping me wanting to read more. I hate it when fantasy books do this thing of like, oh my god, our main character needs to be whisked away to that place, and so we have no time to answer all their questions, and then the reader is also in the dark. I mean, it works, but it's still sort of annoying. But yeah, it's a good read and I'm having a good time reading it. guys, so I put my dress back on because I was like, I want to hang out in the garden and I want to wear my pretty dress. So I finished all my work for today, packed my orders, filmed my videos, and there's still some stuff I could pick up today, but I'm thinking of just doing it tomorrow. The weather is so good right now, I just want to go and enjoy it for a little bit. So I'm planning on sitting outside on my balcony. I was thinking maybe I could go get some flowers because I still want to do flowers in the baskets, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just sit outside and enjoy the sunshine first. And I'm going to read a little bit in Everything You Ever Wanted, but I'm mostly planning on reading Keeper of the Lost Cities just because I'm really getting into that book now, and it's such a cute fantasy and it's making me really happy, so that is my plan. Hi guys, so I took a break in reading my depressing sci-fi book, and I read Keeper of the Lost Cities for the remainder of yesterday and also this morning. The weather has been beautiful. I've been enjoying like planting my flowers and just like being a cottage girly really much, so I've been having a great time. And I also discovered a new podcast that I want to talk about in a bit, but first let's talk about Keeper of the Lost Cities. So I am enjoying it, but I'm seeing like so many, like I didn't want to mention this, but I'm seeing so many Harry Potter parallels. It's like it just can't be a coincidence. It's like a lot. I still like the story. There's just a few things that are like a little bit annoying to me. Our main character Sophie, who's telepathic and has these cool powers and goes to this cool school to discover her powers. I love that whole trope, and I don't think Harry Potter is the only book that did that well, but there's just a lot of other things that come back in this book as well, like a lot of elements and friendships and sort of teacher-student dynamics that I'm like, I've seen this before, you know? And like at first I was like, it could be a coincidence because not every magic school book is Harry Potter. Like that's not even the first book to do that, but it just kept happening and I was like, okay, at this point it's not. Is it me? I don't know. But then I went to Goodreads and a lot of people were saying the same thing, so it's not me, I think. Nonetheless, I still like it, but what annoys me as well is that Sophie is so special, and like every 3 seconds somebody in this book has to remind this girl that she's so special, like, and she's so not like other girls, and that just works on my nerves because why can't we be like other girls? Other girls love makeup, we do too, we cry, we wear pink, whatever. That doesn't mean we can't be smart or cool or very intimidating. Like, it's not one or the other. Why can't she just be like other girls and still be special in her own way? Like, I don't like that trope. But if I look past all that, I am definitely enjoying it because it's just so whimsical and cute, and it's giving me like the fluffy middle grade feelings. So I am having a good time. It's just there were some things that were annoying me a little bit that I hadn't really gotten into, but I like that it's an elf world. And I think also the aesthetic of the world, like all the crystals and like chandeliers and sort of really elf-like palaces and stuff, are very cool. Okay, so that was my little Keeper of the Lost Cities rant. I haven't really read a lot in either of my other books. I've listened to a little bit of the Craigslist confessional audiobook yesterday while I was painting. I just need to get through this book. At this point, there's so many stories in there that are just so gross or heartbreaking. Like, I kind of want it to be over, but I'm like 60% through, so I don't want to just quit the book. Okay, so those were most of my reading updates. And now let's just talk about the podcast I discovered. I usually don't really talk about podcasts, but this is book related, so I thought, why not? So I love podcasts. I think it's just like a great time to replace the voices in your head with other people's voices. It's nice. So I started listening to Books Unbound, which is by Ariel Bissett and Raylene LeMay. And I think Ariel's also on BookTube. I don't know about Raylene, but very cool. Loving the podcast. It's like so much fun to hear people talk in a podcast format about books. And yeah, they're very funny as well. Their dynamic reminds me of me and my friends and like our buddy reads and like how messy that gets. So I'm having a great time. So I just wanted to mention that. And with that, I also want to end with this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had some good reads and some reads that are like mixed feelings, but still interesting that I picked them up. Hope you guys are having the best reading week. Don't forget to check out this week's sponsor and try to win a copy. And yeah, I just want to thank all of you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon again on this channel. Have a good day. Bye guys.